Hi, welcome to a new episode of Tom's Geeky Garage. Today we got a little project for you, and I mean little. Recently I was watching a YouTube channel, I think it's called Lex the Robot. He does toys and things like that, and he had a video where he showed that they made little miniature figures of some Transformers and some G.I. Joes, and the packaging was like 1 inch tall, and it was full packaging with accessories and everything. I thought that was cool. And since I've been stuck in my house in quarantine and with nothing to do, I figured I would give this a shot and make my own version of Kenner figures this way. So I'm going to show you how I did this, and should be good. But before we start, remember to like and share and subscribe to this video if you haven't. Hit the bell icon, things like that. You know how this works. Yeah, it should be fun. Remember also, practice good social distancing. Don't want to get anybody sick. Yeah, whatever. Let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that I did was brought in our 3D scan of the Egon figure that we had made in the miniature Egon video, and then I scaled it down to about 30 millimeters tall, and then made a second one that was 20 millimeters. Alright, for the ghost I kind of just did a very, very quick sculpt. It's going to be such a tiny little piece that I don't think it needs to be 100% accurate, so I just kind of sculpted this in like 5 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and send this to the printer. Alright, so out of the printer we got this. Everything seemed to print really nice. It looks like we retained almost all the detail. Matter of fact, I think we did retain all the detail actually. These things are so tiny, but it looks like everything's there. If I could get it focused. It's so small I can't focus with my camera. Yeah. I decided to make like a really small one just to test out how well the printer would handle it, and the printer actually did a really good job. So after we have all the prints ready, I cleaned them up and basically put them on wire so I could paint them. So now I'm going to airbrush the base coat of the suit color. So here I am. I'm just going to like lightly dust everything at first. This is a water-based, just a water-based paint. So if you put on a real heavy coat, it's just going to run and drip and not look good. So you really just want to dust it, let it dry, and do really thin coats and build up multiple thin coats. Alright, so here you can see the Egons with the base suit color. I actually didn't film myself doing the detail painting as far as painting in the boot color, the hair, the flesh, and those kind of colors, but here you can kind of see what it looked like when it was finished. It was pretty simple. These toys weren't really painted that crazy in the first place. So after they're all painted, I went through and dusted them with a little bit of a sealer to kind of seal all that water-based paint. And everything's looking really good. You can see I've added the final details here to the packs. And now we can start moving on. Okay, so now I'm going to be making the plastic casing for the box. So what I have is I have a 3D printed kind of form here, which is the negative and the positive, which I will squeeze the plastic in between to kind of get the shape of the box packaging I need. Normally I would do this like vac formed, but for such a little part I'm not going to bother trying to get a vac former to make this part. So I'm going to take some plastic here, I'm going to heat it up with the heat gun, sandwich it in between these two things, and then maybe we'll get the piece I need to hold our little Egons, which here you can see how small the action figures are. They're tiny little figures. So let's try that. So I'm just gonna get the heat gun ready. So we're gonna heat it. We're gonna line up the plastic and start heating it up. There we go. Get it nice and soft. You can see the plastic getting nice and soft. Yeah, getting some plastic soft. You feel that, plastic? You feel that? You get that? Huh? You take it, plastic. Okay, I'm probably having way too much fun with this. So after I put this piece in, I'm gonna also press down with some foam to kind of like wrap it around. So here we go. Bam, heat it up. And let's see how this turns out. You take that plastic, you take it. Okay. Alright. So, you can see the plastic is nicely wrapped around. We're going to remove this guy. Kind of cool it off a little bit before we try to pull it out. I'm pretty good at blowing stuff. I've learned that is something I'm good at. Okay. Alright. So we have our little form here. So if we trim off all this plastic that we don't need, get out of here. Get out of here, plastic. We don't need you. Oh, we can put that away. Oh. Okay, so we trim all that off. Be a little bit here, a little bit here. Round off the corners. I'm not gonna clean this piece up. This was just a demonstration piece. I've actually done a few of these where I've actually took the time to do them. But you can see this will be the packaging for the mini box. I think this is the one I'm gonna go with for the final. And let's get the little Egon here so you can kind of see how all this will go together. He'll fit. He goes in this little box here, like that. I don't know if you can see that, but he's kind of small. Let me see if I can focus this on him. Yeah. So he will go here. His ghost will go here, and his little proton pack, which is kind of still up on boards, will eventually go in here, kind of like that. Yeah, I think we're getting really close. Obviously, I have this one too, who's a lot smaller scaled, as it's like probably like a third. He's tiny. He's not going to go in a box. He's just going to be on display. But here we go. We're almost close to getting our packaging done. Alright, for the box art, I basically just kind of came in and kind of cleaned up a picture I found of the box art and you know, got it ready to basically put a fresh character in here. So we will print this out on some paper at the scale we need and laminate it onto some cardboard, and then we also have the back for the card. So we'll print out the front and the back and create our own card. So now I need to focus. Alright, so now we are about to start making the boxes. So the first thing I did is I printed out, to get the scale right, I printed out multiple sizes of the packaging to kind of get a feel of which size is closest to the size that I've built in. So I have the plastic from the last section of the video. So I just kind of sized it up. Let me get it. What is the deal here? So I sized it up until I found one that was the right size, which turned out to be close to this one. Then after I did that, I went and printed it at high quality. And what you can see is we have the front of the box cleaned up, and then we have the back of the box. So you can kind of see here how that will line up. It'll line up something like that. And then we have our ghost, our figure, and the individual packs that will go inside the packaging. So the next step is to laminate these and connect them to some like thicker cardstock, so it's more like a card. So we're gonna go ahead and laminate. Probably use just some box tape. Just put some box tape on it, and then we're gonna glue these pieces to some card to make them thicker, and then we can start putting all the actual figure parts into the plastic, and then glue it all together. Alright, so now we have the cards made and laminated. They're looking pretty okay. So now all we have to do is the assembly. So next step I will do is take the pack. Oh no, making a mess. I'm gonna take the packs and the ghost, put them in the packaging. Here's a ghost here. Put them in the packaging and then glue the cardboard to here, and then we're pretty much finished. So I'm gonna do that now. I can't get focused on anything, it's so small. Well, whatever. Time to package them up.
Alright, so here you can see the unpainted Egon from earlier and our really small 20mm tall one that I just put on a base. And here is the packaging of the two Egons that I had made, which are, I think they're like 30mm tall, and that's the figure. So this box is probably around, I don't know, maybe 65, 70, I'm guessing. I don't have the measurements in front of me right now, but everything came out looking really cool. I really like it, and it's kind of hard to say, but the camera doesn't really give justice how cool these are because they're so small in person. Like, they're just tiny. And you know, it's got the feel. It feels like a real packaged toy. It's really cool.
Alright, so that was fun. I really liked how they turned out. We got front and back of the cardstock. We got the ghost in there. We got the proton pack and the little Egon. Now, I know that the ghost is the wrong color. I only had green resin at the time of this video, and I didn't want to wait another 2 weeks for a yellow to come just so I could make the ghost yellow. Maybe in the future I will make this ghost the right color. And also the proton pack is one piece rather than being separated like it was in the original packaging. And that mainly is because the scale, it would have been too hard to deal with in two different pieces. Other than that, I have two of these guys made. They came out looking great, front and card. So I really had fun with this project, and I think this might be the last project I do using the Egon. I think I'm going to try to do some 3D scans of Ray and Peter and Winston, and maybe see if I can make a full set of all four of these so I can have them on display. They're really cute. They're so tiny. Anyways, thanks for watching. Check back next time. Later. Ha!
Quick note, people that are still watching, remember to go check us out on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page, we usually show like previews of upcoming projects. we put, some sneak peeks, some photos, and other things up there before we actually throw things on YouTube. So if you get a chance, go over and like the page, and we would, be happy to have you.